All right, it is 7:13, and I'll call to order the June 8th meeting of the Weare Conservation Commission. For anyone in the audience, to my left is Steve Nager, I'm Andy Fulton, and to my right is Bill Bolton. Guys, tonight I don't have an agenda. We have minimal mail. So perhaps we have a quick meeting and we can discuss things that you guys bring also. We've got a forestry services agreement from Meadows End Timber. That's something we had discussed last month.
Yeah, it's just the Wolf Creek management plan, so it just needs your signature on it. Mail it back.
That's for a total of $2,950 out of the town force account, or from the town force account to be invoiced later. So I'll sign that and you can.
One copy's for us, one's for them.
All right. That was work. That was approved at last month's meeting. Steve, would you mail and file or scan and email? Let's see, we have a letter from PLC dated May 24th. Thank you for the $3,500 to the, or towards the Martin Family Conservation easement on Deer Warren Road. The landowners are very pleased about what they've done with their land. They've expressed great satisfaction with how the project was developed and managed, and are gratified with how the Conservation Commission values their property within the overall conservation mission of the town. Look forward to working with you, Chris Wells.
Where did that come from? Yeah.
The 3,500
Yeah.
conservation fund.
Did we ever end up looking at the easement or anything?
Didn't we get a copy of it?
I can't remember. There's been so many of them.
Honestly, I'm not.
There was one that
Not
we couldn't
certain
come
whether
to
we
agreement
did.
on,
It
remember?
certainly wasn't anything recent.
Yeah. Remember there's one we didn't come to agreement on with them on the public
I got
assets?
something that stated the landowners agreed on the snowmobiling with permission. Written
And
permission.
that's what we'd asked for.
Yeah.
When Chris was here.
And, I'm sure I got it on file at home, but I don't.
Bill, if you just double check on that, see
Yeah.
if we weren't others contacted on it, forward that along.
Yeah, I just don't know if we got an email like with the actual easement before it got filed, or, you know, what it actually word for word looked like.
You care to email Chris about that?
No.
Nor do I.
Oh, just look it up on nhdeeds.com. It's quicker. It's already done, right?
I would presume that's a good place to start. Let's see what else we have. We have shoreland impact permit on Daniels Lake. This one was, must be for Bob Baskerville's work. Impact 92,299 square feet of protected shoreland in order to construct a self-storage facility on an existing vacant lot previously used as a sand and gravel operation. So he told us that was coming, and so it has.
Whatever happened with that? Did we end up with an easement on that?
An easement on what?
That whole, was that the Daniels Lake development there?
We did end up with an easement on the High Rocks development there.
Right. Well, remember it wasn't filed when Naomi contacted them.
Or was it a deed?
No, it's supposed to be an easement, I think.
Well, we were supposed to take the land.
Mm-hmm.
The lot was to be transferred to us. And a separate
Okay. So Martin,
easement. So the easement went first, and then the property transfer, I think, came in second.
yeah, it just never got filed though, when Naomi had contacted them. I'm not sure where that got left off. All right, here we go. So yes, this is already filed.
We also have a statement on the unrestricted grant account balance, very similar to last month's at $650.39.
It's like a modification to the easement, so.
That's the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions and a June 1st mailing. Sends along a guide to planning successful invasive plant management projects, picking our battles. For our library.
Was there already an easement or something? This thing's added on, or?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
The idea was to tag on to a bigger area that was already
Yeah, it's supposed
under
to-
easement with the same landowner. Sorry about that. And the last thing we have on the mailbox is a minimum impact application for Eversource from Titan Bond. Dated May 13th. Titan Bond says we are filing this permit application on behalf of Public Service Company of New Hampshire, now Eversource, for an overhead electrical utility maintenance repair project located along a 115 kilovolt transmission line right away in the town of Weare.
That wasn't there.
For access to and replacement of 2 existing utility poles and removal of 3 utility poles within jurisdictional wetland area. It's all within the utility right away.
They're exempt from any zoning.
Replacing poles due to overall wear and condition, and removing one that's no longer needed.
Where's that?
Between Dustin Tavern Road and Oak Hill Road in Weare.
So is that right through our property? Has to be.
Right through the marsh there.
Yeah.
Dustin. Access to the work areas will be from both 77 and Oak Hill Road and along the transition line right away to avoid a direct crossing to Meadowbrook. And the new poles go in different locations. Both poles are removed. All of the structures are within the wetland associated with Meadowbrook. The utility right-of-way runs through a large emergent marsh that surrounds Meadowbrook, which flows through the center. The area can be classified as a large palustrine emergent wetland with persistent vegetation that is seasonally and intermittently flooded and saturated. No vernal pools or fourth-order streams. A lot of alder, meadowsweet, tussock sedge, cattail, reed canary grass, saturated soil, standing water, high organics, 4 inches below surface of peat. Meadowbrook runs through between structures 28 and 29. We're proposing to use wooden swamp mats to cross the wetland. Temporary impact of 24,982 square feet.
Half an acre.
Approximately 80 square feet of permanent impacts associated with the pole replacement, due to the fact that they will not be replaced in their current location. Replacements consist of drilling holes up to 5 feet in diameter and the installation of a caisson into each hole 10 to 15 feet below the ground surface. New poles will be placed into the caissons and backfilled with suitable materials. Old poles will be cut off at ground surface and removed and disposed of off-site. The butts will be left unless they are in the way of the new poles. These poles were not replaced during the previous phase of pole replacements and are in need of updating. If the pole should fall, it would cause a line failure and potential outages. Other alternatives are not feasible. There are no previously disturbed access paths. Temporary impacts will be restored to pre-existing. Erosion control will be used. And the construction mats are supposed to be clean and free of vegetative matter so as to not spread invasive. There'll be cleaning of the mats before they're removed from the project area. That sounds like a little bit of slop. Rare species request. Identified 2 species for the area. I think you're responsible for at least one of them, eastern hognose
Black racer.
and the northern black racer.
Yeah.
It's determined that they do not, Fish and Game does not expect impacts to these species. There are no known den sites. Recommend the use of welded plastic or biodegradable erosion control netting. No, they did recommend that the welded plastic or biodegradable erosion control netting not be used due to possible entanglement. Cocoa netting or the use of erosion control berm is recommended.
Yeah, DES actually has a nice list of wildlife friendly. And it's about the same cost too.
Mhm.
Well, there's no real difference.
Yeah, you can.
Or DOT, excuse me. DOT has the list. Sounds simple enough, huh?
They're looking for a Conservation Commission signature. Says expedited review only requires that the Conservation Commission signature is obtained in the space above prior to the submittal of the original application to the town clerk. If we don't sign, the application is not eligible for expedited and will be reviewed in the standard time frame.
They don't need like 5 copies
I
anymore.
thought it was 5. Yeah, that's a little different. Maureen has signed. Yeah. Town clerk is to immediately sign the original application and 4 copies.
We're missing out.
Immediately distribute a copy of the application with 1 complete set of attachments. So, according to these directions, they only need to get our signature on one of them.
Make a motion to sign it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And we call the area Dustin Meadow. All right, and I will put that back in Maureen's box. That's what we had for mail. What else do we have?
Jeremy said he was gonna mail me the contract for, to get the Chevy Hill job going.
That's a contract with Hardwick.
Yeah, to sign for the town. I think we already voted on that, but, well, if you need the.
When in doubt, we can double up.
Sure, so just make a motion, sign the contract with Hardwick.
I'll second it.
And for clarification, that's for any of the commission officers to sign?
Yeah, sure. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
Chevy Hill. Further discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Moving along, what else we have?
Did anyone get a chance to look at that forest management plan, or, do we wanna let it go to, I don't know if we had any comments on it, or finalize it?
I didn't get into it.
You know, I read it. I probably have to read it 10 times to take it in.
There's a lot of data in there, yeah.
One of the things that
That was a Toby Hill, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
saw in it that I thought was a very good idea was the forester, not necessarily, it may cost a little something to do it, but could clean up their skid roads or harvester road, not harvester, forwarder traveling road, for use as a foot trail for the future.
Yeah, I mean, you do that on any harvest pretty much. Mostly like the main haul trails.
Yeah.
You know, side trails are harder.
Sounds like a good idea. That's something we should always do on ones that are obviously existing, subject to some existing foot traffic.
Yeah, like we got the, what was that one? Poor Farm went back and cleaned those all up.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy just didn't really perceive that they were there in the first place because they had been kind of in disrepair.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a good idea.
So you want to let him submit the final, or everyone else out with that?
Yeah.
No, we need to vote and just tell him, just go ahead and
Yep,
submit the final copy.
that would be good.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of info there, for sure.
Anything else, Steve?
I don't think so.
Any discussions in the last month with MTL about the Eastman pollinator project?
I haven't heard from him a lot. No, nothing on that.
Okay.
I've been so busy, I haven't been getting out there and look at the burn yet, look at the results yet. You guys been out since the burn, no?
No, not since day of.
Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of interesting to see what
Certainly looked like it was
got
greening up.
whacked. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get out there.
Yeah.
I'm doing a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, I can definitely check with them. I'm sure that's chugging along.
But just, check on our expectations. They're gonna consult with, I think, Amy at Cooperative Extension, and then talk with us about just where her recommendation would take it for a location of a portion for treatment.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recall, but I mean, wherever makes sense out there. I mean, there's some spots that you wouldn't want to do it. It's kind of a wet seep going through there.
Right.
I think you want to line it up probably according to the sun too. It's, how it's getting through the trees there on either side.
So I think, my recollection is that's where we're at with it. We should hear something back probably from, was it Josh?
If I don't capture
that.
that in an email, send him an email if you can remember. Yeah, either Josh or Jeremy.
What was that, for the planting of the pollinators?
Yeah, remember they're gonna so we burned it, then they're gonna have to spray it. We also were talking about taking out those invasives while they're in there. There was some There's a few different species, and I know there's wing euonymus, there's probably some bottom olive, but yeah, so they're gonna like spray the patch, and they're planning on like a fall planting, I think.
I think there's 2 applications through the summer and then a fall
Yeah,
seeding.
yeah,
If, and if it could,
yeah.
get scheduled right.
Mhm.
You have anything else for tonight, Bill?
I spoke with the folks at Red in the Motorized Trail Bureau, and they were completely non-committal,
All right.
non-recommended to, and I don't know, I guess I don't want, I'm not gonna read anything into it, but they just didn't want, no suggestions whatsoever. Other than to go online and,
There's a couple contractors, they're a little further away, and we can see what that would cost us. Like, one comment you had on one of the emails, I kind of raised a very similar issue, like, a real long time ago, that, you're talking about, I think being able to, like, walk up, get a trail going up Mount William and some other places. I kind of said the same thing, and that's where I struggled with, early on when we were talking trails. I think I had kind of wanted to take a look and see what other communities were doing, because Londonderry like has a real active trails committee of some sort, but it's not on the Conservation Commission. And I mean, I like the idea of going somewhere. Like I've said that a million times. I'd rather be able to wander all over the place than just, So it's kind of, I feel somewhat like our hands are a little bit tied as far as what we should be dealing with. Not.
I meant to talk with the folks in Hollis. They have a trails committee.
Yeah.
And it's part of the town, but I don't think it's, I think it's probably as much,
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec
That's
Yeah.
as it is anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of thinking, years ago.
And I spoke with my brother Chris, and I
Yeah.
spoke with Bert Brown, and before I forget, Bert was Manatee One, the duck pond.
Bringing it up. Or?
Yeah, bringing it up. He said he didn't really know who to talk to when he spoke with you and another person, and it appears that they are watching the water levels. And
Yeah, I'm not sure if we got anywhere with him or not, but
he was pretty satisfied that, I think it was, who used to be the Hillsborough County Sheriff, Walt Morse. And Walt Morse put somebody on it.
good.
But it, he thought that they had, he thought good things had happened.
Good.
And I just briefly spoke to him about, would he allow a trail if there was one up over the mountain and coming out of Bolton Field and across, the different conservation pieces and whatnot, and he was very receptive to it. And my brother Chris was very receptive to it, provided it was maintained.
Yeah.
And it's it's a long ways off, and it would be a lot of work, and the trail itself is all there, but getting it marked and mapped and whatever. But it would, if the Trails Committee, if Conservation Commission wanted to do something, and the Trails Committee wanted to get involved and do the marking and whatnot, it's a doable thing.
Wow, that's impressive. Just the willingness to work with folks like us who perhaps don't have much of a track record on things like that. So I certainly appreciate the sentiments.
So where are we headed now? I mean, should we reach out? There's definitely a few contractors out there to see, I guess, kind of, what they've got for information or what their thoughts are. I think the closest one might have been Massachusetts. Selectmen seemed pretty hot when I got reappointed just to, HUD on, just wanting to get something going with trails.
Yeah, John Martin had
Yeah.
left and reinforced that feeling.
Do you know if anything had happened at Farron yet?
I was thinking the same thing, because remember we talked about if they're gonna.
Yeah, we
be
gave
able
the
to have a day-
green light on Farron for,
Yeah.
some coordinated work with PLC, but haven't heard anything now.
I haven't either.
I haven't made any type of contact with Dave.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them. I don't know if they're regularly meeting or anything. I guess that's one thing we need to shoot them an email and just, and we should get all the minutes if they're meeting and know about that.
I think last we heard, they were basically going dormant pending our move on the bigger picture. But it'd be good to check in with Dave.
But I mean, then we had that suggestion about doing some other work on existing stuff, so
Yep.
I think that would lead to, I mean, there's plenty of work, actually, even just without developing new stuff,
Yeah.
But between, now and next meeting, I'll at least try to contact and see, at least those couple that I found. The names will elude me right now, but
It's probably the sort of thing that, there's somebody making a career of it out of Vermont, Maine, or Massachusetts, in addition to New Hampshire, then, for that sort of service, I don't think it would necessarily be harmful to work with someone who's not right around the corner. As long as they're willing to, share a vision that, an established, record of good projects and, meet with us once or twice a year sort of thing. If we're gonna, try to follow the model of a town forester.
yeah, I think if you're within, 4 hours of here to do something like that, I mean, that's
Clearly,
routinely
I mean, there
done.
would need to be some time in town,
Yeah, field.
but it doesn't, I guess I'm just saying I wouldn't be opposed to working with, someone from north central Massachusetts or across the borders. It's,
Right.
it's a bunch of little states working the same issues right next to each other.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to get back on that.
And what we're, looking for is recognized excellence and insights and accomplishments.
I really want someone standing here that's gonna do a plan for us that's sustainable.
Yeah.
And knows what it takes to build and keep it up.
Yeah.
I mean, people must have this figured out. Look at like the trail crews that AMC has, and
Mm-hmm.
there's some other. I mean, there's like what is it, Wannerlasset Outdoor, who maintains a bunch of trails in the Sandwich region on the. A lot of them are on the forest, but that's some
Yeah.
kind of a private club. We hit everything. Judging by silence, ready for motion.
I'll take it.
Bill, anything?
Nope.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
You go.
Battery run out or something? Oh, there you
All right, we got a motion to adjourn at 7:48. All in favor, say aye.
go. Aye.
Aye. Adjourn at 7:48.
Cool.